Good morning children. Till previous class we have read about measurement of distances. Today we are going to learn about types of motion. The very first type of motion which we are going to discuss is translatory motion. What is meant by translatory? For example, if you take an object like this, if you push the object, every particle of the object will move as I am pushing the object. That means the body as a whole it is moving. Such a motion is known as translatory. I repeat, translatory motion means whenever a force is applied on a body, whenever you push a body, if all the particles in the body will move at the same time. That means as a body, the complete body moves. Such a motion is known as translatory motion. This translatory motion is divided into two types. One is rectilinear motion, other is curvilinear motion. What is rectilinear motion? Yesterday we have discussed if the path covered by body is a straight line path. If the path covered by body is a straight line path, then the motion is said to be rectilinear motion. For example, a ball moving on a floor, a boy riding a bicycle. Suppose what is curvilinear motion? Curvilinear. The name itself says it's a curve. That means if a car takes a turn, if any vehicle takes a turn towards turning, that is curve. Curvilinear. So a body, if it is moving in a curved path, then we call it as curvilinear motion. I repeat children, what is translatory motion? If a body moves as a whole, body moves as a whole. When a force is applied on a body, when we push a body, then it is a translatory motion. If it moves in a straight line path, then it is a rectilinear motion. If it is a moves in a curved path, then it is a curvilinear motion. Next children. Circular motion. This we have discussed yesterday. If a body moves in a circular path, then we call it as a circular motion. If a body moves in a circular path. If a body moves in a circular path, then it is a circular motion. Next. Oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion. What is oscillatory motion? Suppose you might have seen the pendulum clocks in your home. That is, you take a pendulum like this. Pendulum clocks in your home. You might have seen a pendulum clocks in your home. If this pendulum, when it completes 1 hour, you might have observed the movement of the pendulum. The pendulum will be moving towards this and again coming back and again moving back. This is called as oscillations. That means to and fro motion of a body. To and fro motion of a body. Is known as oscillation. To and fro motion of a body is known as oscillation. What is to and fro motion of a body? If a body moves like this towards one side and goes back to the other side. One side it is moving, we call it as to. Going back we call it as fro. So the to and fro motion of a pendulum is known as oscillation. If a pendulum covers to and fro motion of a pendulum is known as oscillation. This kind of motion made by the pendulum is known as oscillatory motion. I repeat, the to and fro motion of a pendulum is known as oscillation. This kind of motion executed by pendulum is known as oscillatory motion. Next one is vibratory. What is vibratory? Where you will be seeing this vibratory motion. in all kinds of musical instruments. In all kinds of musical instrument. Vibration. What is meant by vibration? What is meant by vibration, children? If we take like musical instruments, the strings will be there. The strings will be like this. If you pluck the string, they will start vibrating. If you pluck the string, they will start vibrating on their main position. They will be vibrating on their main position. What is the main position? The position of the string. The position of the string is said to be main position. So this string starts vibrating on its main position. Such a vibrations observed in the musical strings is known as vibratory motion. Similarly, in pendulum also, the rest position, the original position of the pendulum is known as main position or rest position. Main position or rest position. So, here what do you observe? The string moves to and fro motion on its main position is known as vibratory motion. Children, if you observe the oscillatory motion and vibratory motion, definitions are nearly equal. When we take oscillatory motion, the pendulum makes oscillations on its main position. Here vibratory motion, the string vibrates on its main position is vibratory motion. Both are nearly equal. But what is the difference? Main difference you can observe here in oscillatory motion, in vibratory motion is, first thing, in oscillatory motion if you take, the bob completely moves. The pendulum completely moves from its position. The pendulum completely moves from its position. But here the string will not move from its position. String will not move from its position as a whole. That means in oscillatory motion, the body moves on as a whole. The body moves as a whole. In oscillatory, the body moves as a whole. The body completely moves as a whole. Whole body moves. Whole body moves. But in vibratory motion, the string completely will not come out of its position. It will be plucked in two fixed points. The string will be plucked in two fixed points. It will not move out of its position. The string will be in its position only. The string will be plucked. Will not be coming out of its points. But from that only over the main position it will be moving. Over the main position. It will be moving. So this is the only difference which you can observe in oscillatory and vibratory. What is oscillatory motion? Which makes oscillations on its main position. What is vibratory motion? Which makes vibrations on its main position. The difference is the pendulum as a whole moves from its path. Here the string cannot come out of its fixed points. It will be in its fixed points. From there only it will be vibrating. That is the only difference which you observe in oscillatory motion and vibratory motion. I hope you understood, children. Next point is periodic motion. Periodic motion. What is periodic motion? If the motion, any kind of motion, it may be rectilinear or it may be a circular or it may be oscillatory or vibratory. If the path of a body is repeated, if the path of a body is repeated in equal intervals of time, then it is called periodic motion. What is periodic motion? Periodic means in equal intervals of time. If it is a repetition, if the path is repeated, for example, if take oscillatory. For one oscillation it makes 2 seconds. For the other oscillation also if it makes 2 seconds, then oscillatory motion is said to be periodic motion. Here, if time taken for one vibration will be equal to time taken for another vibration, then also we call it as periodic motion. If take rectilinear, if a body moves in a straight line and repeats the same path in equal intervals of time, then we say it is also periodic motion. That means in periodic motion, the path should be repeated in equal intervals of time. Then the body executes periodic motion. Children, what are the different kinds of motions here? Translatory, In translatory, you observe rectilinear and curvilinear. Rectilinear is straight line, curvilinear is curved path. Circular motion, if your body executes circular path, then circular motion. Oscillatory, you will be seeing in pendulum clocks. To and fro motion of a body over its mean position is oscillatory. Here, vibrations made by the body on its mean position is vibratory. Next, oscillatory, vibratory, what is the difference? In oscillatory, the body as a whole it will move. In vibratory, the string will not come out of its position. From its position only, it will be vibrating. Periodic motion is what? If the path is repeated in equal intervals of time, then periodic motion. We will say periodic motion, children. I hope you understood this. Now we are going to learn about combination of motions. You will be seeing one or two motions. A combination of motion in certain examples. You will be saying, finding the combination of different motions. Combination of motion. For example, you might have seen just now, I said, a ball rolling on a road. It's a straight line path. What kind of motion generally we say? We call it as rectilinear motion. We call motion executed by it is rectilinear motion as it is traveling in a straight line. But the ball is rolling. The ball is rolling, rotating. So we call it as rotatory motion. So we see rectilinear motion as well as rotatory motion in this case. For example, you take drilling machine. Drilling machine. Children, you know for what purpose drilling machine is used? For making holes in the wall. In drilling machine, if you see, if a machine is drilling like this, if the machine is drilling like this inside the wall, then what is happening? You are inserting the hole. That means rectilinear motion, and the nip to make it hole, it is rotating. So what kind of motion you can see? In drilling machine also you can see rectilinear motion and circular motion of the nip. You can see like rotatory motion of the nip, sorry. A drilling machine, you will execute rectilinear motion and rotatory motion. Both will be observing drilling machine. So rectilinear motion will be seen and the nip will be rotating while making the holes. Both kind of motions can be seen in drilling machine. So like this you will be finding a combination of motions also during the some of the examples like butterfly, which is moving from flower to flower, also you will be observing like this, and different kinds of motions also you will observe like random motion. This butterfly flying will come under random motion. Dog going for, this is different, children. Random motion means all combination of motions will have. You cannot identify what kind of motion you are doing there. So in random motion you cannot identify different kinds of motion. All kinds of motions will be seeing in random motion, like dog chasing a cat, cat chasing a rat, or butterflies moving from one point to the other point. All this comes under random motion. You cannot specifically say this kind of motion. Zigzag motion, mosquito flying in the home, all this comes under random motion, children. So with this we have completed the types of motion. Any doubts, children? I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can call me and ask me. Next, you see, we are discussing the chapter motion. What is motion here? What is motion? Yesterday we have discussed if there is a change in the position of the body with respect to time. So if you have change in the position, change in position with respect to time, with respect to surroundings, then we say the body is said to be in motion. There should be some change in position with respect to time, then we say the body is said to be in motion, children. So suppose if a body completes less distance, if a body takes less distance, depending upon the time taken by the body, we say the body is moving either slow or fast motion. Slow motion or fast motion depending upon the distance covered and the time taken. So the motion of a body, we say, suppose a car is moving, how much distance it has covered in how much time, depending upon the distance covered, depending upon the time taken, we'll discuss the body is moving either slow or fast, children. I hope you understood, children. Thank you, children.